Okay, and welcome to Succah Daf.
Ted Zion.
That's Shmuel's new job. He's gonna say the Daf. What's Ted Zion in English?
Ted Zion. That's a hard one. Give me either one.
What numbers did he
Yud
go?
Zion is easier. Ted Zion is 17.
So what's before?
Ted Zion 16.
Very good.
That's
All
right.
right. Shmuel got his
I
degree
always
in
got
math
trouble with Ted Zion. That
from
was very
Yale.
difficult.
He failed out of Harvard, so he went to Yale.
Where is Yale?
Where is it? You know my questions. You know the
Where is Yale?
questions. Do you know where it is?
Where's Yale? You know what they asked him? Where's the Carnegie? Where's Carnegie Hall?
Carnegie.
How do you get to Carnegie Hall? A guy asked the old man on the street, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? The old man says, practice, practice, practice. It's a joke.
I mean, that's where they perform shows, right?
Right. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? How do you
Right.
make it?
Obviously, the guy wanted directions. But do you know who Andrew Carnegie was? What? How did he make all his money?
Carnegie. He
And how rich was he?
A Hungarian. Carnegie. It sounds a Hungarian name. Carnegie.
He was very rich. He was worth
Carnegie.
almost, they say, around $200 billion.
Wow.
If you convert it from whatever they had back then. I think it was the early 1900s.
Yes.
How did he make his money? How did Rockefeller make his money?
Rockefeller. Probably
Rockefeller was probably one of the richest men in modern history. Yeah,
Wow,
he was worth maybe $400 billion.
You're joking?
Adjusted income for inflation. You know how he made his money, Rockefeller?
No, I guess he worked in some sort of firm.
He was the biggest oil magnate there ever was.
I thought it would be probably like
Oil, yeah.
Oil.
They had to break up his company because he had a monopoly. Standard Oil Company, I think it was called.
He made all this money on that.
It turned into Exxon Mobil.
Really?
Mobile, whatever you pronounce it.
Mobileye, that's a big Israeli company.
And they broke up into a lot of different companies because they filed antitrust laws against him. But Carnegie made his money out of the same way that the guy from the rich guy from Toronto makes his money.
The rich guy from Toronto.
The family Tannenbaum. Where do they?
Tannenbaum.
What do they specialize?
Tannenbaum. Yes.
Steel? You heard of steel?
Steal? They steal the money? They make money from the old-fashioned way. They steal it. Just joking.
Shmuel was just at Siyum.
Yes.
We have footage of that Siyum, and Shmuel was very proud. He was.
I was the one of the Messiahmen. Actually, I was just part of the shir.
He's just part of this year. He brought the drinks.
I brought the drinks.
Some with alcohol, even, I think.
That was one was a liqueur. And the man
He gave me a
said,
chocolate liqueur.
I offered it to a man, but he said it's a halachic question if he could drink it. I was wondering.
What's the shiloh?
He said because drinking it was a banana liquor. He said maybe you're getting into a problem with la yilbash. You like wearing something that women wear. It's like you're drinking something that women drink. It's a joke. That's what he said to me.
Women drink banana juice? I mean,
Banana liquor. It's not a manly thing to drink.
Oh, yeah, so what's a manly thing? Give me a manly drink. What's a manly drink? Vodka?
Apple cider.
Apple cider?
Right?
All right, listen.
When was the last time
Anyway, I
you
just
saw a
want
lady drinking apple
to
cider?
tell everyone what happened, and we had to see him for the Daf Yomi, the English Daf Yomi here in Telstone, and many people don't know about this year. It's given to about 3 people. Shmuel's one of them. Shmuel goes to my share.
Joke. I have this.
Shmuel, which year is
I
better?
have this magnetic personality. Whatever share I go to, it draws.
How come you don't bring drinks to my share? I demand the drink every night. Bring me
Okay.
bring me an iced tea, all right?
An iced tea.
Give me a Snapple.
Snapple.
I'll take a Snapple peach. Yeah, bring me a peach Snapple, all right?
I think they even sell Snapple tea.
They
in
do. They
America?
started in Israel or living in Israel.
Right.
They started selling it here. Yeah, I want a Snapple peach tea. All right, I'm ordering that from now on. I think I earned the right to do that with my fabulous shiurim that no one listens to. All right.
We will present you with a Snapple Tea Award. No, but you deserve a Snapple Tea, definitely.
So
I would say even more than a Snapple Tea.
Listen, what's better? I mean,
Maybe I'll get you an eraser or a pencil eraser or something like that.
All right, that signals that it's time to start. When we talk about pencil erasers, we're not in 4th grade over here. We're a little older. All right, so we're gonna start from the bottom of. Speak for yourself. You go to 4th grade. All right, Ted Vavam and B is on the bottom. Heicha, last line. Heicha Idmar Rav Chana Amar Rebbe. Where does Rav Chana Amar Rebbe say? Where he says something about Rucha v'shtei crime or Ksara v'shtei crime. Ahad Isnan Mita Metamis Chavilo Meteris Chavilo. Divrei Rabbi Lezer. Bed only can be Kabal Tumah. It's only considered a kli, utensil, if it's complete, and it's Metaheris Chavila, and only can retire in a mikvah, you can, as long as it's a complete bed. Divrei Rebbe Lezer. It doesn't have to be complete. As long as it's a partial bed, it can be makabel tuma, and you can put it in a mikvah to retire it. Maini, what is this avar, and what is the part of a bed? Amar Rav Chana, Amar Rebbe Arucha v'shtei crime, Ksara v'shtei crime. We're talking about the long hole of the bed and two legs, or the width of the bed with two legs. What is it a kli for? What can you use it for? You can lean it on a wall, and you can, I guess, lean on it. Or alternatively, you can attach wooden poles to it and make it like sort of upright and lean it against the wall, and you can put like ropes, weave ropes on the bed, and you can sit on the bed. You put a mattress there, maybe. Gufa. Amar Rav Ami bar Yumi Succah bebloi kelim psula. We said on the Daf Zayin Beis that if you use for Succah worn out clothes, it's possible, even though the worn out clothes are less than a shear. So the Gemara says my bloi kelim. What is bloi kelim? Amar Abai matloni yashem behem shalosh al shalosh. Doesn't even have a 3 etzbos by 3 etzbos. Etzbos are finger breasts. It's a very small amount. Less than 3 finger breasts. It's not even something poor people, certainly not rich people, and even poor people wouldn't think of using it. They throw it away. But since it came from a baguette, which was much bigger, the big baguette, which was a kli, so therefore it's possible for Succah. Even though it's not makabel tumah, it's less than 3 and 3, it's still possible for Succah. There goes on it to be possible for Succah. Tanya kavase de Rabbi Ami bar Yumi. Machseles shel shifa v'shel gemi. So you have a mat made of shifa or gemi. I think the article says, not exactly sure what they say over here. I say gemi is rubber and shifa is like, say, felt material or something like that. Even though they were less than the shear, normally a cloth is says to be 6 tvachim by 6 tvachim. If it's less than the shear, it's shiureh. If it comes from a big mat, so you still can't use it for sicha. So you see a proof that you can't use it for schach, even though it doesn't have the shear to mekabel tuma. The Brayso continues. Let's say you have a mat made out of reeds or wood. If it's a big mat, then you can use it for schach. Why can you use it for schach, Shmuel?
Why?
Yeah, why can you use it for schach?
It's a good question. Well, you shouldn't be allowed to.
Why?
I don't know. It sounds like
because it's too big to be used as a mat. It's not something that people would actually lie down on. So therefore, it's not a kli. It's pshute kliates, and therefore it's not makabel tumah. You can use it for sicha. Tana, but a mat that a person can lie on, it's small enough for a person to lie in. It's a kli. Lezer holds. He argues even on Gedola. Some people would want a big mat, right? Some people have big beds, right? How big is your bed? You have a king bed? When you go to the hotels, right? They have beds, right? You know how big a king?
I know a bed. So I have a bed in my house. Yes.
Do you know how big a king bed is?
A king bed?
King bed. Yeah. How big is it? How many meters is it?
Is it fit for a king? I don't know.
Yeah. How many meters? There's different sizes.
They say he was very short. But what's his name?
Do you know the dimensions of a king size bed? A queen size bed. Do you know the dimensions of that?
No, I don't have any idea.
Do you know the dimensions of a double bed? You don't know these things. Well, I'm going to tell you. A queen's bed is about 1.5 meters. A king's bed, usually around 2 meters. There's also something called a California king bed. You know what that is?
It's made in California.
No, it's not made in California. It's made for people who live in California. A lot of very tall people live in California. All the famous basketball players, when they retire, they go to California. They live there, and they're very tall, so they need a bed. It's a bed. Normally, an average bed is only about 6 feet long. So let's say you're 6'6" or 7 feet. How are you going to lie in a bed like that? So that's why they invented a California king bed, which is a very long bed. It's actually smaller than the width. The width is smaller than 2 meters, like 1.8 meters. But the length is, I guess, I don't know, 2.5 meters. I don't know. It's big. 2.3 meters.
Such a bed like that?
It's a California king bed.
How big a room? You need a big bedroom for such a big bed.
Anyway, in times of the Gemara, they didn't worry about beds. They had mats. They lied on the floor. like nap time in Gan, in kindergarten, and they take those mats and they lie on the floor. You remember those days, Shmuel?
No. Too long ago.
You told me you were in fourth grade. You just told me you were back in fourth grade.
Okay, but it was a long time ago.
All right, let's continue.
Let's continue.
Chodei
King
Begadish.
beds, queen goldies.
Gotta know this stuff, Shmuel. It's Derech Eretz. Pashut stuff. Come on. Pashut. Most people here have 90 centimeter beds. Not even a meter.
You're joking?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? The length, the width? What are you talking about?
The width. 90 centimeters.
What does that mean?
You probably have two beds that are 90 centimeters, no?
I never know. I thought about it. I thought it's not it sounds very short. Maybe that's why I keep on falling off my bed at night.
All right, listen.
No, seriously. Okay.
All right. For sneeze purposes, we can't talk anymore about the bed. This is prohibited discussion. All right. Chodei Begadish. Amar Rav Huna lo shanu. We said in the Mishnah that someone who has a haystack and he carves out the haystack and he wants to use it as a sukkah, it's possible. Amar Rav Huna lo shanu lo she'im sham chal teva. If there was already a cavity in the haystack that was a tefach tall, meshach shiva, and it was 7 by 7 tefachim long and 7 tefachim wide, so that's the shear of a sukkah, and therefore it had halal tefach, so it's an oel of a tefach, so therefore you could already call the schach a schach because it has an oel of a tefach. An oel, once something's an oel, is a tefach, is considered an oel. So therefore it would be called schach already. So if it had that already, and then you carved it out to a 10 tefachim, because your sukkah would be 10 tefachim, then Meshach Shiva raises sukkah. That would be ksher. That would, because it already had schach. It's not called tasev lumen also. Tanya nami haki achote begadish tasev sukkah. I raise a sukkah. The Brisa says it is a good sukkah. Not in a sukkah. Our Mishnah says not a good sukkah. Like Rav Huna's chiluk, that depends whether you had the halal, you had a cavity of tefach tall and 7 tefachim wide. Tanya raises sukkah. Sorry, some people answer the following stira this way. Mishnah says you do a chod begadish, ain't no sukkah. It's not a good sukkah. Tanya raises sukkah. The Mishnah, the Brisa says it is a good sukkah. Amar Rav Huna lo kash kam she'ein sham chal tefach meshach shiva kam she'ein sham chal tefach meshach shiva. A third way of saying basically the same thing. Why does the Gemara do this, Shmuel? The Gemara basically says the same idea 3 different ways.
Good question.
This is a really good question, right?
What's the answer?
I don't know. You drank something. Maybe you should know the answer. All right. Stop drinking the woman's stuff. You gotta drink the man's stuff, so you can know the answer to the man's question. It's a man's question.
That's right.
All right. All right. The Mishnah says, let's say you are building a sukkah, and you're lowering the walls from top to the bottom. Even let's say it's a 10 tefachim wall, but it's higher than 3 tefachim from the ground. It's possible because a gedi can go, kid goat can pierce through it if it's 3 tefachim from the ground. It's not considered a wall. If you're going from bottom to top, starting from the ground, you're going to top. Once 10 tefachim is kosher, even though the schach is much higher, as long as the schach is beneath 20 amos, it's kosher because there's a concept of good what?
Good morning.
Good morning, good night, good evening. With Shmuel, it's always about good morning. Good asik, it's called. Good asik.
What does that mean?
Good asik means you raise the wall. Good asik.
What is good?
Good is a wall. Asik, you raise it up. So good asik is the kind of good asik. You have a 10 tefachim wall. It's a kosher wall. You can raise it up to the schach imaginarily. Yossi Omer. Is that a word? Gavoa asar tefachim ksher. Yossi Omer kshem shel lemata lemala asar tefachim kach lemala lemata asar tefachim. He argues. He says that even if the wall is hanging above 3 tefachim from the ground, it's still kosher because he holds of good achis. Not good evening. No, good achis. Good achis means the wall goes down. It's machlokas whether you say machitza tli, we'll see in the Gemara, is materis or not. So the Gemara explains the machlokas. But my comment, what's the machlokas? Tanakama and Rabbi Yossi. Marsav machitza tli materis. Rabbi Yossi holds that hanging mechitza is matir. We say good achas. So Marsav mechitza tluya ena materis. The Rabbanan hold doesn't matter. We say a problem. The goat going through is ruins the good achis. Man hasam bor shein bein shei chatzero. We learn a Mishnah Eruvin. Let's say you have a cistern, you have a well, a hole with a lot of water in it that is divided between two neighboring chatzeros, two neighboring courtyards. Ein mamal and mimena b'Shabbos. Elim ken asala mechitza start talking. The problem is you can't carry from your friend's chatzer to your chatzer unless you have an eruv. Let's say you don't have an eruv, so you have a wall between that divides your chatzeros, and you share a bore with water in it. So the only way you could do it is elim ken asala mechitza start talking. In malam b'Shabbos elim ken asala mechitza start talking. Bim mala bim mata. Bim betok ogno. As long as the wall extends into the cavity of the bore, it's beneath the ground level, even if it's far away from mala, it's far away from the water, or it's close to the water. As long as it's inside the cavity, it divides, and you can fill up. It's like not like you're filling from your friend's kotzer, it's filling from your own kotzer. Shimon Gamliel Omer Beis Shammai, he argues. Beis Shammai Omer Milmala, Beis Hillel Omer Milmala. He says machlokes. Beis Shammai says you can even be milmal. It doesn't have to actually be so close to the water. Beis Hillel says it has to be close to the water. Amar Rabbi Yehuda, he argues on everything. You don't need the actual wall to go into the cavity of the cistern. All you need is that a wall dividing the chatzeros, even though the wall is just on the ground level, doesn't go in at all to the bore, because he holds a mechitza tluya as materis. Amar, so that's where we get this from. This is Rabbi Yehuda, just like Rabbi Yossi said, a mechitza tluya materis. Rabbi Yehuda holds by Shabbos, a mechitza tluya as materis. Now the Gemara is going to say whether they can hold like each other. Amar Rabba Rachan, Amar Yochanan, Rabbi Yehuda b'shitas Rabbi Yossi Amar. He says Rabbi Yehuda holds like Rabbi Yossi. The Amar mechitza tluya materis. The Gemara says v'loi. It's not really true. Lo Rabbi Yehuda savar lak Rabbi Yossi. Lo Rabbi Yossi savar lak Rabbi Yehuda. We can't prove that they each hold each other like each other. Lo Rabbi Yehuda savar lak Rabbi Yossi. It's possible to say Rabbi Yehuda doesn't hold like Rabbi Yossi. Akam no kam Rabbi Yehuda hasam el be'eruv chatzeros. The Rabbanan. It's only this is the Rabbanan. A Succah d'oraisa. You're going to say that a good achis mechitza tluya is materis. Lo, we're not going to allow a d'oraisa to be violated. Lo, Rabbi Yossi said like Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yossi doesn't hold like Rabbi Yehuda. Ad kam l'kam Rabbi Yossi hacha ela b'sukkah the mitzvah's essay. Sukkah is if you don't sit outside the sukkah, so it's a puzzle sukkah. You only violate the mitzvah's essay. You didn't sit in the sukkah when you ate. Aval Shabbos is a skila. Shabbos, even though it's derabanan, but it could come to an isra skila. If you're not careful with derabanan, it could come to isra skila, which is very chomer, right? You wouldn't want skila, right?
Skila, I think I'll pass on that skila stuff.
They don't have it. They have, capital punishments in different countries. Some states in America allow capital punishment. Some states will never give a death penalty.
They go up to the Capitol. That's what they were trying to do with the Capitol. They ran up to the Capitol and
no, it has nothing to do with the Capitol riots.
The punishments in the Capitol.
No, capital punishment is a punishment, a death penalty for if you do something like kill somebody.
Well, he should kill. Whatever, the guy killed somebody.
So there's different ways of doing it.
They
used to electrocute people. The preferred way, I think, of most states and most countries of doing it is lethal injection.
Lethal injection, where they take a snake and they just spring him real
close.
close.
Snake. They take poison, so if it kills you, and they inject it into you, and you die within a couple of minutes. I think 8 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not very humane.
It's not so bad.
It's not so bad. It doesn't sound so great.
They also have another thing. It's called.
Why don't they just take a cow and throw a cow off the roof, and he's standing under the building, and the cow just flattens him.
That's something like skila. Skila.
Skila, right?
You know what skila is? Skila is basically you push someone off a 2-story building. Now,
really?
If the person doesn't die, it's very possible you're not going to die. You push a 2-story building, so then they throw a big stone on you, and if that doesn't die, then people pelt you with rocks. Skila is considered the worst, the most chomer of the dollar.
Okay, why are we talking about all these really
the skila?
sad and very. We
shouldn't talk about this, no. But
talk about happy things like talking about wars.
You know who won the NBA championship? You know
NBA?
The basketball championship.
Bowling?
No,
National bowling?
Basketball.
Oh, basketball.
It was just the championship. You know who won?
A team. I know that.
Which team?
The Athletics.
I'll tell you. The Milwaukee. What's the name of their team?
Milwaukee Brewers. No?
That's baseball, though.
Oh.
The basketball team is called the Bucks. Buck stops here.
Is it an Alabuckin?
You know who their star player is? He won the Finals MVP.
Really?
Yeah, he's from Greece. Call him the Greek Freak. His name is Giannis. Guess his last name.
Galapagos or something.
It's pretty close. Antetokounmpo. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a very long name. It's a very hard name to pronounce. But this guy scored 50 points in the last game. He
Probably
won single-handedly.
probably because he probably could, like, he slides across. He's greased, all Greece, so he could slide across the whole.
What's the capital of Greece?
Greaseland.
All right. We're not getting anywhere.
Greaseland.
Athens. Okay, come on, you gotta know that. Athens. That's where the god Zeus, right? Zeus from Athens. You heard of Zeus?
Zeus?
You never heard of Zeus?
No.
Zeus was the Greek
When I
super
was a
god.
kid, they used to read me those the Zeus, Dr. Zeus.
Greek mythology.
Dr. Zeus.
Who was
yes,
Greek's?
about
Who was
that-
Greek's
that
wife?
big
His
elephant,
main wife.
The elephant who sat on
Who
that
was
egg.
Zeus's main wife?
I don't know. I don't know his family tree. I don't know someone. What up? I let it, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get involved in this.
Hera.
Hera?
Poseidon was the god over
Okay,
what?
this is totally off topic. No one wants to hear this. They want to learn Daf Yomi and teach me about Greek mythology.
All right, listen.
They want to show
Giannis Antetokounmpo was MVP. Congratulations, Giannis.
Giannis.
Played pretty good.
Giannis.
All right. So the Gemara says
es geht. Es sei geht Spieler.
he's a good spieler, yeah. All right. So the Gemara says about Shabbos is a skilo low. We wouldn't say it by Shabbos. Him Torah Ma'aseh Shenaseh B'Sipori. Sipori was a town in Eretz Israel that was run by Rabbi Yossi. Al Pi Manasseh. There's going to be a Ma'aseh which contradicts what Rabbi Yossi said. So Al Pi Rabbi Yossi, Al Pi Rabbi Yishmael Rabbi Yossi. It happened. Rabbi Yishmael, who was the son of Rabbi Yossi, he allowed it to do it. My Ma'aseh. Chiyasa Rav Dimi Amar Pamacha Shechlu V'Lo Yiviu Sefer Torah Me'erev Shabbos. One time they forgot to bring a Sefer Torah to shul on Shabbos. They left in one of the houses, and they didn't have an eruv. So they made makeshift walls on the alleyway from the house to the shul, so therefore they were able to bring it. So therefore it was like one rishus. So the Gemara says, Pirsu Sakadaita, Shabbos. How could they have brought them to hang them up? There's no eruv.
That's a good question.
What really happened was they just found it happened to be that the pillars of the street were leading to the shul had sheets on them, like advertisements on them, like Bibi Netanyahu Likud.
Or maybe Zeus. Come to Zeus for a good pizza. What do they sell in Greece? Pizza?
Greek food?
Greek yogurt, right?
Greek salad is you should have Greek salad. Greek salad is Greek cheese, feta cheese. You know what feta cheese is?
Feta cheese. That's Greek?
Yeah, I mean they have it's different. It's a little complicated. There's Bulgarian cheese. There's Greek cheese, and it's a third one. There's another place also that has similar cheeses, cubes of cheese. They put it in the salad.
Oh, I
Called
like
feta
it.
salad.
Very good.
Greek salad. That's what they're famous for. Greek salad.
That's good.
So on your next trip to Greece.
I'd like to go to Greece, really. I was reading a book about Greece.
All right.
Don't they have that guy John Travolta in Greece or something like that? He's a big actor.
I don't know. Maybe he was from Greece. It doesn't sound. I think he was American. But they have a play, Greece. You know what the musical? Broadway musical, Greece.
Ah.
You heard about that? Actually, one year I dressed up as I wore American suspenders, United States suspenders, and I wore a Turkish hat called a fez. You know what the Turkish hat is called? A fez. So who was I dressed up as? So I said I was dressed up as Cyprus. Right? Cyprus is half Turkish and it's half Greece. Greek, so I'm half by Greece and half by Turkey. So I have a Turkish hat, and Greece, was an American musical, so I wore American suspenders, to dress the part.
I'm sure everybody.
So
by the way,
I was dressed up as Cyprus.
You have all these very type of, you have to think about all these things. Everybody wants to know what you're dressed up as. They don't need a whole discussion, a star history discussion.
This year I just was a clown, but last year I was Cyprus. All right.
Greece, in Yiddish they say Succah Greece. You know what it means, Succah Greece?
We gotta move. We gotta do this.
Succah Greece.
Okay. I don't know what you mean. Amar of Chisda. So, anyways, that the Maisa which happened, they relied on these walls, Mechitzat Tluya, and Rabbi Yossi only holds of that by Sukkah. He doesn't hold it by Shabbos. That was done al pi his son Rabbi Yishmael, who was in charge, not Rabbi Yossi himself. Okay. Amar of Chisda, Amar Avimi, Machaselas Arba, Mashu, Materes, Besukkah, Mishum Dofen. So you have a board that's 4 tefachim and a little bit. It matters the sukkah as a wall. You hang it exactly in the middle between the schach, hanging in the middle between the schach and the floor. It's less than 3 tefachim from to the schach, less than 3 tefachim to the ground. It's like love it, so you say love it. The same love it. It's pasha, you rely on love it. So the Gemara says, "Ma'od love it amrin and trey love it lo amrin." We don't say love it twice. Mashman, you could say it twice. Mesi ve'machatzel shivo ma'ashu materes b'sukkah mishum dofen. He says you need a board of 7 tefachim. Why 7 tefachim? 4 tefachim. He just says good enough. You can do 2 lovets. It says he's going to do 1 lovet. The Gemara says he was sukkah gedola. That's talking about the schach was very high, so you don't have lovet to the schach. Ma'ikamash malan. So what's the chiddush? So you say lovet 1 time. What chiddush is that? Where it says the Mashal in front of Rabbi Yossi. Here we're talking about where it was more than 3 tefachim from the ground, and you can say Gurachis Machitza, even though the Gedi could go through. Amar Rabbi Yami Pasar Ba Mashu Matri B'Sukkah Mishum Dofen. He says he's talking about the walls of the sukkah, lengthwise. You can put a board of 4 tefachim and Matri the sukkah. Mokinli Pakum Mishlosh Tefachim Samach L'Dofen. You put it within 3 tefachim of the dofen. You need the whole Pakum Mishlosh Samach L'Dofen Gelav Adami. So therefore it joins it together. 4 plus 3 is 7. My Kamashma was the Chiddush. Hakamashma and Shir Meshach Sukkah Tana Shiva. The smallest sukkah has to be at least 7 tefachim. The width and the length have to be at least 7 tefachim. So you can do that. What's the chiddush? We said before you can just do tefach sochek on daf Zion. So here the chiddush is you don't need Suras HaPesach. We pass on halacha on daf Zion. You need a Suras HaPesach also along with your tefach sochek. So if you have a pasar ba, so then you don't need Suras HaPesach for the rest of your wall. You can just rely on the pasar ba and the love it, and you have your 7 by 7 sukkah. Shmuel, what do you think about me taking over the Daf Yomi here in English here in Telstone? You think it'll happen one day? Am I charismatic enough?
I think you're overqualified.
It's me and what's his name? Rabbi Goldstein?
You're overqualified.
Me and Rabbi Goldstein. Rabbi Goldstein is the best. How old is he?
He's married off children already.
He's married off children. He's been doing this for how many years? How many years have you given the Daf Yomi share?
This is the second time around.
Listen, like Logan Paul got into the ring with KSI, and Logan Paul got into the ring with Floyd Mayweather. Me and Rabbi Goldstein are going to get to the boxing.
Right, we have boxing right over.
We're going to box for the right to give the Daf Yomi share in English in Telsta, right? The right there, you have 3 people come to your share. Shmuel comes to my share anyway, so I'm only getting 2 other people. But it'll be a great
there
fight.
There are people on the phone also. There are people listening on the phone, so it's not entirely...
Logan Paul will be the undercard to my fight against Rabbi Goldstein.
Okay, have a great night.
Have a great night.